Ready to get this game started. Here's Evan McPherson. And off we go on Thursday night. On the return, here comes Davis. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Lawrence going to throw straight away here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
2nd and 16 at the 19-yard line.
Running out of the gun with Davis. A lot of grass ahead. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains. Offense up to the line fast. Now Lawrence on the play fake. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. And that leaves them with a decision to make on 4th and short. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And the Titans will get set to take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Finds a seam down the middle. To the house for a Tennessee touchdown. The Titans don't need long to take a 6-0 lead. Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Titans will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. This return makes it up to the 25. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. It's a great pickup. 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Handoff here to Davis. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Slot man in motion right. 2nd and 8. That That one's taken in by the rookie out of USC. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Davis gets it from the gun. And he made the most of his running room on that one, getting it down to the 27. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Has it down close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
Davis. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
The nose of the football inside the 1. Here's 2nd and goal. They put a receiver in motion here left. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Jaguars reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Jaguars tie this game 7-7. The Jaguars ready to send this downfield, and away it goes. And that one's going to skip across the goal line and into the end zone, so the football will come back out to the 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Titans will have a 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Short pass brought in. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a 1st down.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and now it's 3rd and short. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Here's a throw. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right, they win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
From the gun on third down. That throw finds Okonkwo. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Tennessee! The Titans break the tie here in the first. McPherson at the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Titans take the lead here, 14-7 in the first. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This one's going to be a return from deep in the end zone. He gets popped quickly. Not a nice feeling or a nice return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Oh, his back's got it deep down the left sideline. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. We're back for the start of the second quarter. Jaguars have the ball and a chance at 6.
Take right open.
From the red zone now. Floats that one, but they couldn't connect. First time this game they've looked to him. So second down coming up.
He's counting his lucky stars. That one isn't headed the other way right now. That is not the time to challenge double coverage.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Parker, the man in motion left. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. And he goes out approaching that 10-yard line. A solid 8-yard gain there, and now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
Well, this offense is trying to keep the defense off balance down here in the red zone, mixing in receiver runs with everything else they love to do. And the best part is, it's working. He gets them several yards on that play.
Slot man motioned over. On the handoff, here's Davis. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. A gain of 3, and now they're going to be able to plan for 1st and goal.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. So I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
Calling around 3 on the play. They're set up with 2nd and goal from the 5.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet. But if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, will largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Going right back to Davis. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. That one splits the uprights. And the Jaguars tie things up at 14. The Jaguars ready to send this downfield, and away it goes. Evans now to return. Big shot at the end of that return as he gets it just past the 20. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Nate Wiggins getting up to end that play. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got to tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
2nd and 10 now. Finds a man right side. They strike for 23 yards. And that'll be a Tennessee first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's just spinning his wheels, man, this entire first half. They drop him behind the line.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
All in left side. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Throwing with a blitz on the way. It is caught left side. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first. Lone back gets the handoff. And they'll get this down to the 23-yard line before they stop him. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 23. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. But still plenty of options left on 3rd and short. Setting up a throw. Completed to his running back. And he stopped cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the...
Touchdown, Tennessee! So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here comes Davis. And he's out a little short of the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They've got a man in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
2nd and 10, here's Lawrence. He put everything he had into this one. That's complete inside the 35. They rip up a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
You know, Okay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
They've got first down from the 31. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He'll get this one to Parker. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, short of the 15. Up to the line, and they're set. First and 10. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Finding Davis. Has some room to work. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone. Instead, stuffed at the 2. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. That's much too high and out of the end zone, incomplete.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
So after the incomplete pass, here's second and goal.
Let's go.
Davis, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars earn the chance to tie it before halftime. Now the PAT try coming up. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars tie this game at 21. The Jaguars ready to send this downfield, and away it goes. Here's Carter on the return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Offense ready to begin this drive, first and 10. Throwing from the gun. He completes it in traffic. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Here's second and 2. Into the hands of Okonkwo. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And the Titans will have a first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Back to pass on first and 10. Has it downfield, working the left. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down. Now we get a timeout taken by the Titans. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. Still sticking with the passing game. Brought in right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Tennessee! The Titans take the lead just before halftime. McPherson at the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Titans break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Choosing to bring it out deep in the end zone. They stop him right as he gets up past the 15. They've got blackjack on the clock. Not a ton of time to use before halftime. First down throw, Lawrence. He beams one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Still time for a couple of plays, though. 15 seconds left. The tip definitely broke up that throw. So it's second down coming up. Lawrence working from the gun. He's trying another one deep. Wait for Davis, but it's intercepted. Terrion Arnold has it. And he takes this one back for the pick six. That play, Brock, that play was beautiful. Not just making the interception, but then seeing the return slowly come together in front of him as he took it all the way to the house.
Yeah, I think even for us up here in the booth, it looked like a scene out of a movie, didn't it? Starts running
Yep.
the back, scans the field for a lane, then the blocks come just in the nick of time to wipe out the would-be tacklers, and he's got open space and nothing but the end zone in front of him.
Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. The Jaguars ready to send this downfield, and away it goes. He fields it from the 8. And he'll be out of bounds at the 22-yard line on the return. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Now a give on the counter. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Nate Wiggins getting up to end that play.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Okonkwo brings it in. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. 16 yards on the play. And that'll be a Tennessee first down. The give now out of the shotgun. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
Kate, I'll never forget walking into the Hall of Famer Dwight Freeney's meeting room with those defensive linemen. The late, great John Tierlink, his coach, he had a little sign up in his office, and it was sacks, and that money sign was the S, because ends and D linemen make their money with sacks. But you win games when they stop the run like that for a tackle for loss.
And he'll be touchdown after a big play. So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. They'll run here on first down. And he's able to drive them forward into the red zone. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
That's a catch for Nico Collins. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have first and goal to figure out.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
They'll try and punch it in. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Has it in close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Kate, if you and I took a whirlwind tour and watched young quarterbacks, the hardest route to complete is this one. A lot of them could throw go routes and slants and drags and in cuts. But throwing that out route takes some time, takes some precision, and a whole bunch of trust between QB and receiver.
Here we go, right up the gut. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. It's a gain of 2, and that's going to bring up 4th and goal.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, it sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
Here we go, 4th and goal inside the 1. They'll throw for the end zone. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Going right side, Davis with it. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. He'll throw it from his own end zone. Davis there to grab it. He goes down at the 10-yard line.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Not a good spot to punt from. They really want to convert here on 3rd. That one's out and cut on the right side. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. First and 10, it's Lawrence. He's trying to push the field. They connect on the deep shot. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. Davis up the middle. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Slot man in motion left. From the 43. Caught nice gain left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. We've reached the end of the third. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Couldn't find Brian Thomas Jr. on that throw. And it sets up 2nd down.
Take right open. Hey, hey, hey. 11, Aga. Go, go.
Now Lawrence. Putting the body on the line for his team. They touch him down, but a great pickup, and it's good for a first. Davis takes it straight ahead. Has the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars now within 1 score in the 4th. That one right down the middle. And the Jaguars chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Return starts at the 9. And he breaks the 20 on the return, but only just. That is one up to the 21 and out of bounds. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Dump off caught by his back. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he pushes it up across the 30 before going out.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he goes out, just needed one more step to reach midfield. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
These edge defenders in the league today, Kate, they've got so much on their list to do. A huge to-do list. They got to get to the passer, they got to set an edge, and they got to stop that run game, not just on the end of the line, but in that case, right in the middle of the field.
Here's 2nd and 11. He's on the move. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
3rd down from the gun. Collins there to grab it. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Titans will have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Throwing from the gun. Cut near the goal line. And that's a Tennessee touchdown. McPherson at the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Titans double their lead to 14. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This one's going to be a return from deep in the end zone. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lawrence. He's going to push one deep down the right. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Terrion Arnold has it.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful. Right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3.
And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They're going to move the chains after a big play, 39 yards. On 1st down, they'll run. And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
They give it to him again. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
When you don't have great success on 1st down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation. Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
Butker knocks it through. And that makes this a 3-score game.
I think you could call this one now, Kate. His field goal makes it a 3-score game, and even the most improbable comeback attempts are going to have a hard time erasing that type of deficit here in the final quarter.
This will end up as a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. 11.
Motion man sent left. Running out of the gun with Davis. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Working quickly here. On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Trying to push it deep downfield. And they can't connect on the deep look. Still a couple of snaps to play with, though, here. We've got 2nd down. Motioning one of the tight ends.
30 left.
Second and 10. Here's Lawrence. Throwing deep for the end zone. And this is caught. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars get it back to within 2 possessions. Kicking team out to try the extra point. And wow, Brock, this one is no good. He has been automatic so far this season, but for the first time here, he whiffs on that extra point. Well, this one not quite over just yet. They've got 3 timeouts at their disposal, but really need to make the unexpected recovery here. And the Titans are able to cover off the kick. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Running this one left. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it. And that offense just put on display some teaching tape for him.
What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. Calling around 3 on the play. They're set up with 2nd and goal from the 5. Back to the well again. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Titans make it a 3-score game in the 4th. McPherson at the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Titans push their lead to 18. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. From well into the end zone, he's going to bring this out. This isn't even going to make the 20. The coverage team gets to him. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
13, Lou. Let's show them the momentum offense. Hey, Lion. It's rolling. 11. We can do this.
Back to throw. Here's Lawrence. Forced out to his right. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. Couldn't find Brian Thomas Jr. on that throw. So it'll be 2nd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Trying to push it deep downfield. Oh, brother, it's another interception. Jukes one defender. And the Titans have it as he records his 7th interception of the season.
You know, Kate, once you've thrown a couple picks, it's easy to become check down Charlie. Right? Just throw it underneath and not take any more risk because you don't want to throw what he just did, his 3rd interception of the game. It's time to protect the football at all costs. And if not, well, that backup better get ready.
Give now to the running back. Jukes out a 1-stop. And he's able to get this down to the 36. So it's a win on the road for the Titans. And they take the first skirmish with their